Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. We're just about set to get started, and this ought to be a good one between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Houston Oilers. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Houston Oilers. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, you take a look at our home side as we enter play here. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories. Meanwhile, for the visiting Steelers, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
A couple of 2-1 teams set to square off, and we're underway here in NFL Week 4. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. So the Steelers offense getting set for their first drive. And out will come the leader of this offense, and that, of course, is their signal caller.
And I liked what his head coach told us about him this week, that no matter what happens, whether he throws 7 interceptions or 7 touchdown passes, he's the same assertive leader in the huddle on each and every play. He can throw the 7 interceptions, just blame the football, blame anything else, and still carry himself like he is the man.
It's like you, assertive in our production meetings.
Well, especially when we're talking about ordering dinner, ordering some snacks.
I was just going to say.
That's where I go.
And let's take a look at the Steeler offense.
Out wide was the youngest player in the NFL in 2017, Juju Smith-Schuster. And he also had the longest reception in the league last season at 97 yards. Actually well-schooled in route running and able to run from both outside and moving inside to the slot position in order to make big plays.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3-and-out here on 3rd and 4. Young working out of the gun. Man open, it's Moss complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
First down, Young. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on his first drive. Instead, second down. To throw again on second down. Young. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. A few issues here on the offensive line. Apparently, he got sacked 5 times last week. They got to him here in the first quarter.
And I would think that running the ball would be paramount here because it's a different team they're facing, but they watch the film as well. So they'll take many of those same principles and try and apply them in this game to see if they fixed what was wrong with them in the last game.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Out of the gun, it's Young. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. They were ball hawks last week. They had a trio of interceptions on defense. In the first drive, they pick up right where they left off.
They're creating quite a reputation for themselves, aren't they? And sometimes what happens is when they know that the defense can take the ball away, as they saw the previous week, now you try too hard to not let them take it away, and you force yourself into errors. They've intimidated them in a sense and gotten the ball from them.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. They'll run it now out of the gun. Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48. The numbers for him from a week ago, 22 carries, 108 for the yardage and the score, too.
And the way they ran the ball in last week's game has to be satisfying to their entire staff because they're seeing not just a back gain big yardage, but they're seeing an offensive line really in sync.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And this is Cook with a grab. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
He gets this away. It's a good one. Drawing toward the sidelines. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. And the Steelers set to take the field. And they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception. What interception? It didn't really happen because they gave up no points. So go back on the attack. Go back and run the offense you believe will be successful. Find your playmakers and give them the football.
Meanwhile, the throw by Young was knocked away and incomplete. A second down throw for Young. Wide open receiver complete. And all the way down to the 36-yard line. A big play, Young to Moss. 53 yards. As a defense, what a nuisance when you look on the other side and they've got a tight end that can run a post route like that.
And you felt the ground shake, didn't you? Oh, even all the way up here in this booth. How about when he grabbed the football? You could see the terror as everyone was thinking, do I even want to try and tackle that big man?
So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's first down on the other side of the field. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or two.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out.
False start, offense.
Not easy being a rookie left tackle in this league, and there they got him for the penalty.
Not easy at all. Think about what you're dealing with every game you play. Ostensibly, the best pass rusher is over you on every snap. I'd be a little jumpy myself.
Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that'll make it 3rd and 13. Young will set to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, certainly some teams are not intimidated by down and distance on defense, are they? 3rd and very long? Let's go get this guy again. Big-time pressure.
The Steelers send out their punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. And now out comes Houston. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go. I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. 2nd and 14. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Sanders.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. And on now is the punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Six-yard return after a punt of 48. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Now whistles here before the snap, and it looks like one of the Steelers may have moved. That's going to set him back 5 yards. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. From the shotgun, it's Young. Now Young loses the football. It's stripped.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Here is Young, firing quickly here, and that's complete. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While he gets attended to, we'll step aside. The Steelers send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb.
59. You must be getting me. Cut up.
And he'll find a little space. He gets us up near the 10. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. On second down now, it's Gibson. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So they'll walk him back half the distance. On second down, it's Gibson. And they'll get him down up past the 15, just shy of the 20. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down. Relatively small sample size, but that's his longest run of the first quarter. Bounced it out to the outside to make it successful.
And to get there, you actually need some help. It's not just your pure speed getting to the corner, making sure that the blocking is taken care of inside so the pursuit doesn't get you. And oftentimes, those wide receivers, tight ends that might be flexed out, they've got to control the edge and make sure no one from the outside can spill the play before he gets there.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
It's a gain of 5.
Here's Sanders. Off play action. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a third down situation. On third down, Gibson. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's fourth down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
They bring their punter out there now as he's on to punt for Houston. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Steelers will go on offense here, first and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be second and 9. Second and 9 now from the 21. We're scoreless after 1. Throwing again on second down. Young. He'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13. From the 34 now, here's first and 10. Young now. That'll be caught over the middle by Moss. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Young off the play fake. And he cannot get away, and Young will go down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Third and long for Young. And the pressure gets to him again. Third and long, defense with no fear. They brought the pressure.
0 fear at all. That means they feel really good about the guys who are going to cover. But the biggest one is they think their pressure will get there before he has a chance to find an open receiver.
The Steelers send out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And out will come the offense as they take over. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here.
The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
A running play here on first down is going to go nowhere as he is tackled behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a 3rd down stop by them.
And they'll send out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And boy, Charles, they have to find a way to just get him some time to breathe back there. He's been pressured throughout this game.
And I'll bet in his mind he's thinking the focus shouldn't be on how many times I've gone down. It's where is it happening? Where are the breakdowns up front? He'll never say it publicly because good leaders don't do that. But they've got to figure out what's happening in the offensive line to keep people away from him so he actually has a chance to throw the football, because so far that has not been the case.
5 full sacks against him. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Young, and he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches. They often become the leading receiver.
They go play action. Young going top shelf for Smith. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. And there, Charles, he lined up out left, ran the post, caught it over the middle, and the rest, as they say, is history.
And you have to love the scheme that they just showed there, because if you're going to run a deep post, you ordinarily have to get a safety out of the middle of the field. And you do it one of 2 ways, either by running routes at him that carries him away from it, or you either freeze him in the middle with routes that run underneath so that he doesn't get depth. Then you throw it over the top, and boy, what a successful play that was.
Elliott good on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense is doing a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, It's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul-searching now. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Back to throw. Sanders. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. So they bring out their punter as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. He's got the lead here in the 2nd quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing well, your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, he's looked pretty good to this point. He's exceeded his receiving yards from a week ago, and we're still in the 1st half. It's a 1st down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. This quarterback now hitting on 2/3 of his passes, 10 for 15 so far. 1st and 10 from the shotgun to give to Jones. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Young. Throw right side, going to be complete to Moss. He went over 100 yards in the wild card round. He's over 100 here as well. And a 1st down. Now a 1st down carry by Jones. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. Run coverage, excellent there from the defensive end position.
How many times do we sit with coaches and they talk about a base defensive end, a guy who can anchor and play with leverage? We just saw a great example of it. And how about the bonus? Tackling the runner for a loss.
On 2nd and 11 now. Young got his man complete over the middle. That's Fleming. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Here's Young from the shotgun. Over the middle, complete. That's Moss. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. On the delay, Jones. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to bring up the third down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And Jones is not going to have the first down as they stop him short. They end up getting stuffed twice after that 9-yard gain back on first down. 2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And now out comes Houston. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. 2nd and 13. Well, this one complete to Smith. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down. Sanders throwing on first down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield.
And that's caught inside the 35. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Now Sanders off the play fake. As Sanders has it poked free. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line. Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end. 4 down. Check.
Young now after the fumble recovery. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. Here's Young. Throwing again. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Now here's Young. Jones has it. And this defense rallies and they stop him short of the first down right near the 24. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. And the kick by Elliott is good. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that. And we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here.
You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
He's got Smith here. So we've reached the intermission in what right now is a 13-point game. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a bit. But first, time for a trip around the league on this final weekend of September. We'll get started up at Lucas Oil Stadium in the capital city of Indianapolis, where it was the Colts who were able to come away with the home victory. 20-14, the final score. From there, let's stay in the Midwest and head down to Kansas City to check on the Chiefs at Arrowhead. And you can see there, it's the visiting L.A. Rams who have the lead in that one. The Rams looking to sew that one up, and they look to be in pretty good shape. Finally, let's take the trip across the Atlantic, see what's happening over in London. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Houston Texans. D.D. Westbrook, a touchdown catch in the victory. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Houston. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. On second down now, it's Gibson. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Throw left side complete. It's Jordan. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they've rallied and made the tackle.
Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. That'll be a 53-yard punt. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. What can they do now, Charles, to make sure this highlight montage doesn't continue to show more pressure and pressure and pressure?
You feel like it always comes back to leverage, don't you? Who is going to win that battle of the offense? Game. Well, guess what? The same thing happens when you're trying to pass protect. Are you low? Are you balanced? Are you in a position where the pass rush won't bowl you over on their way back to the quarterback? They've got to reestablish that in order to try and keep their man upright.
Because they have been bowled over a lot so far in this one. On second down, it's Jones. And he'll be out right at the 35. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10.
Set the tone, defense. Let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll run on first down. Jones. And he's going to get this one down to the 45. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Going to throw right side here. Complete. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. A handoff to Penny. And I think we've got a hold here. It's a 5-yard pickup for the moment. Let's see what our referee says. So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant stroke.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
And that's his 2nd sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Jones. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. He already has 2 sacks to his credit. Now another tackle for loss.
And you know how you can always identify who was supposed to block him? They're the ones helping up the person who just got knocked to the ground with the ball, right? Whether it's a running play or a pass play, they've got to figure out a way to slow him down. Maybe you chip him with a 2nd guy. Maybe you just out-and-out double him. Maybe you make sure you take the ball and throw it as far away from him as possible. Because right now, he is wrecking things for them.
And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Well, that's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
The Steelers send out their punter now. He's been terrific so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And just like that, it's 3rd down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. To throw is Sanders. Operating from the gun. He may try and run for this. And he nearly got the first himself, but it appears he's going to be about a yard or two short. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
That was a good effort there, trying to do it on his own, but as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you, and if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front 7 can get him down.
And that's blocked. The Steelers get it. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Now a 2-point conversion attempt forthcoming.
Let's go. Let's bring it. Let's bring it.
They're going to run for it with Jones. And he gets halfway there, down to the 1-yard line.
Well, they couldn't be happy that they were having to stop a 2-point conversion because that means they gave up a touchdown. But a little solace there. You saw some good gang tackling, stacking him up before he can get to the end zone.
We talk about offensive units putting in more 2-point period sessions in practice. Defensively, do you do the same?
Absolutely. You have to, because you never know how aggressive these offenses are going to be in games nowadays.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. A chance for us again to look at this Pittsburgh defense. Sanders now. Off play action. Steps away. And now he's going to use his legs. And he'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. And looked like some movement there. Let's get the call.
False start, offense.
And that'll set him back 5. Now after the false start, here's 2nd and 7. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. He's going to float this one deep right side. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
And on now is the punter. Remember, though, he did have one blocked earlier. So a change of possession here on the punt. So here are the Steelers to take over on offense. Last week they got the victory against the Colts, so they lead this one as well as they begin things here 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Young. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Fleming. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Now a draw play. This is Jones. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards that time, and a Pittsburgh first.
What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it. But a lot of it is just being actors back there, making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Young to throw it. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 12 yards that time and a Pittsburgh first. Young on 1st down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Throwing on 2nd down. Young. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. Back now here on EA Sports. It's Steeler football, and they have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. And the Steelers on 3rd down. Just one conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This is 3rd and 9. Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up. We'll check on his status when we get back.
You don't want none, baby. You don't want none. Hey, you don't want to see me.
From the red zone now, Young. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Young. And he finds Penny. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. A nice pickup there, 19 yards. And they're set up better for 3rd. 3rd and short yardage, Young. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. This a 33-yard attempt. The kick by Elliott is good. And that one ups the lead to 22-0. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said. And now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Well, it's no secret. That's why they have him return punts. He has the capability to take them back, and he did so there. This fielded a few yards into the end zone.
Let's go.
And now out comes Houston. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Here's Sanders on 1st and 10. And he's got his man on the out route. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
On third down, Sanders. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. He'll have a first down past the 40, and he'll get this all the way up to the 42-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense, and it worked very well there for a first down.
This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Sanders from the gun, he'll throw. That one caught by Gibson. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. Well, they try to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. 2nd and 11. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Jordan. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. And this offense on 3rd down today, a pretty anemic, a very anemic, 1 for 9 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Complete. Smith has it. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. A bit of a catch for him to remember. That's number 400 for his NFL career. Not a bad number at all. They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down.
They're not ready for this. They still playing suck.
Now Sanders throwing on 4th down. And it is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Steelers, they're going to take over an excellent field position. And here comes a big tight end as he gets set for this next drive. And this is how the game has trended for him numbers-wise. He's really picked it up. And I got to be honest, I don't know schematically. This is where I need you. What does the defense need to do to get back to that start that they had on him?
You've got to harass him early in his route. Right off the line of scrimmage, someone needs to be there. So it's not what we call a free release where he just gets into the route so easily. Because once he builds up momentum and speed, forget it, you're done. Knock him off of that, chip away at his timing, and then make sure you have a second person there in the vicinity as well. Too big and too strong usually for one person to handle.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef, they want to run the football. But that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. And the Steelers on 3rd down, just a 20% success rate at 2 of 10. This is 3rd and 8. Again, it's Jones. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run it until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
The Steelers send out their punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, And because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say, maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. To throw is Sanders. Operating from the gun. As Sanders has it poked free.
And a little bit of good fortune there. He wasn't able to get it back, but he did have a teammate on the spot able to retain possession for them.
The Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. Laundry on the field. This is going to be a false start on the offense.
Sometimes you have to slow things down a little bit when things get heated. The cadence has to be slow and deliberate at times to make sure your team's ready to go.
Sanders now on 3rd down. He gets this. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
Offense.
That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against him.
Looking to throw. Sanders. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And it's a fumble. And it's picked up by the Steelers. So they will set up shop. Excellent field position in the red zone at the 19-yard line.
As they say, this game hasn't exactly been one for the books. I mean, we're into the 4th quarter here. And now this happens, another turnover. Not one that they're going to hold up and say, yeah, this has been a banner day.
Absolutely. Still sitting on 0. Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
Young working out of the gun. This will be caught at about the 5. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal. One back in the game. That's Jones, 2nd and goal. Throwing, Young. His pass caught at the 4. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Only able to pick up 2, and that leads us to 3rd and goal. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. From the 3-yard line again, they'll try and punch it in here on 3rd and goal. They'll throw again. Young got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. From 3 yards out, and the Steelers capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Elliott good with a PAT, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Houston. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that.
I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Here's Sanders on first down. This is brought in by Gibson. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. It's a gain of 7, and it's a second down. 2nd and 3.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
7 yards there and a first down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
Sanders throwing on first down. Setting up the screen for Cook. 7 yards there on the first down screen play. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. And he comes back with one complete. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the 4th. Now Sanders on 1st and 10. That's going to be caught. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Back to throw. Sanders. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. A 1-yard touchdown reception. And his guys are able to close that gap just a bit. So they will get on the scoreboard here. Give them credit for that. Too little, too late, but no 0. Oh, you're going slow clap on me.
Not very nice, is it?
No, but they haven't been very nice on offense. It's been a struggle. Now the try here for the extra point. And that'll cut the lead down to 22. So that one, an 8-play drive. It spans 75 yards. And the result, a Houston touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they've got this one in hand. No timeouts remaining defensively, so this one should just be one kneel and then handshakes. So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And it was their defense that really paved the way to this victory as they allowed the 1 touchdown, and that was all she wrote.
Almost want to do the defense chant right now, right? Defense with a couple of claps in there, but no one wants to hear that from me. Let's just talk about how they got it done, though. When you take care of every aspect of the game, shut down the run, control the airways, right? Make sure the quarterback is harassed. This is the type of performance you get. They can't fashion together any offense, no consistency, and they just took control.
So for Pittsburgh, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. Meanwhile, for the home team here, they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Philly to face off with the Eagles. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.